know?
All right. I lost all my respect for recipes after my mom had like these really good chocolate chip cookies and everyone in the neighborhood loved them. And then I found out like just before I reached adulthood that it was just like a recipe she got from the back of a chiplets packet.
But that's how it works. Like my mom has a recipe book, and it's just all these like 1950s recipes that came from like the New York Times. Get yourself an article of the New York Times and get yourself a recipe for a slow roast. Like that's where it's all from. Like all these recipes are like variations on that. So it's not wrong.
Neph is real cute. Oh, tee.
I mean, that person in chat's right. Let me tell you.
Ooh. All right.
Make him blush, chat. Make him blush. Winter Wyvern Silencer coming out. This seems like a much more doable lineup for Team Brazil, and I'm gonna go on a whim here.
So we finish each other's
sentences. Sandwiches. Okay.
Sandwiches.
Chicken, cheese, peppers, onions, Thousand Island dressing.
We're spending about 70 hours a week with each other. We're practically brothers at this point.
Ooh, I could use a third brother.
I could use a single brother. I have 3 sisters.
I have 1 sister-in-law, and that's about it. But Phantom Lancer, okay. Costa Bile on the Phantom Lancer. We've talked about this hero not too much because it hasn't been picked up too much, and I think the one time I called it, and it wasn't even that great of a Phantom Lancer game. Is this a good enough Phantom Lancer game?
Yes.
You're seeing right here?
I'm liking this. I'm going to be honest with you. You have the D-Spell. It deals okay with the Beastmaster aggression. One of your biggest issues is the fact that the crazy lineup right now, it can end the game very fast. You have the Magic Uni Lifestealer can play pretty quickly to get to head lane. You have the Beastmaster. But Winter Wyvern counters that out very well. He's able to throw the Winter's Curse on people to counteract the Beastmaster push, especially with the Necro books. He can throw it on the Lake Stealer when he pops that Rage to disengage and reset the fight until after the Rage ends. Winter Wyvern is amazing here against a number of the things that they have. And of course, Phantom Lancer is a natural carrier of Mantis Styles who's able to dispel that silence. Get onto the back line of heroes like Mirana and Silencer very quickly with his Phantom Rush. So, PL, it's not the Costa Pele Terrorblade, but it makes a lot of sense here. He's going to be able to wreak a lot of havoc in these team fights with it. The only question is how good is his laning phase? Is he going to be able to get enough items fast enough? And can he deal with, I don't know, like Beastmaster instead of playing with this Necronomicon very early on in Vladimir's offering? Does Beastmaster try to jump on top of him with like Blink Dagger, Roar, and a Lifestealer inside him?
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. Timbersaw banned up by one team, Storm Spirit and Leshrac by the other.
Yeah, that was my thought, Storm Spirit, because you need a mobility for this lifestealer, right? Like, you don't want to be super reliant on Beastmaster getting a Blink Dagger, because, like, honestly, I don't know if he gets that Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of excited to see, like, what they're going to go for over mid. I would say maybe even, like, Void Spirit. It gives you a little bit of jump, gives you the opportunity to be infested.
Yep. There is that, yeah. I like the idea of the Storm Spirit ban though. That one makes a lot of sense. Them jumping on your backline, onto like your Winter Wyvern and your Phoenix with the Storm, that would end the game super quickly. They pick up a Slardar, and that is one of the more popular heroes to play against people like not Faceless Void, but Anti-Mage and Lifestealer, and what's the last one that I'm thinking of? It's slipping my mind. I was watching some European games last night because I want to see what the other regions were doing, and I wasn't really able to fall asleep because my cats woke me up 3 times.
That's always nice.
Yeah, they were running a lot more Slaughter in those games. It's not that we haven't been trying to run Slaughter in NA. I think it's just the fact that in NA we banned out the Slaughter a lot once you pick up the Lifestealer or the Anti-Mage. So I'm excited to see a Slaughter finally come out. The Bash, of course, massive damage from that, and any like melee core hero struggles to trade with him that well in lane. It gives them that much extra control. So, yeah, the last thing is it couples decently with the Phoenix Egg too. If the enemies try to commit onto it, any sort of AoE stun with a low cooldown, you suddenly blink in, hop on top, and drop that stun. Able to drop an Avalanche as well, or Winter's Curse you can egg under. So Team Brazil do have a lot more options. I prefer their lineup this game. Last game, they had so many heroes that needed to fight into melee lineups like the Death Prophet, etc. And Crazy just went like all ranged heroes and had Moon Meander initiate for them. This game, Crazy's going to struggle a little bit more. So even though Meg's career is over, they could do decent. Ooh.
I like the Necro. I like the Necro. But I will still sit firmly on the fact that they don't really have jump for this Life Stealer to get infested.
That's right. That's why I was sort of thinking that we might see a Blink Dagger build on Kezu, but if that's what you wanted to do, like, yeah, you're much better off picking up an Axe with a Blink or a Centaur with a Blink. What's the point of taking the Beastmaster? I think you want to be running this fast and trying to end the game as quick as possible, which is why it makes that very difficult for them, though. But here we go, Bkop. Game number 2. Can Team Brazil take this back? You know, they made me look a little bit silly last game because they're saying if there's a team that can take a single game off of Quincy Crew in these group stage, it's got to be Brazil. It's not that I think they're stronger than all the other teams. I just think that they got that spice, that fire that some of these other teams don't have.
Tiny mid, man. I don't know if I like Tiny mid. I feel like it's so hit or miss. Worries me. It worries me. It worries me. It worries me like the back of a Nestle Toll House bag of chips cookie recipe.
I don't know what that means. I don't have everything that you have in Canada. My food culture is lacking.
I could cook you poutine.
Ooh, don't get me started on poutine. You should have been here hanging out with me during the international. I hosted a bunch of my friends here at my house in my place in Vancouver. I'm in a different one now. This one's much nicer. But anyways, the goal was to find the ultimate poutine for my friend Jay. So we ended up going to like every restaurant we could, every fast food place we could, and would order like a small size of poutine for him. We never ended up finding the one though. He just wasn't that impressed in the end.
Uh-oh.
I think his favorite poutine was one from this like Korean Mexican fusion place that also carried like Korean Mexican poutine because it was in Canada.
Okay, I think things are okay. I'm not sure. A little bit of water dripped from the bottom of my glass, and I think it went into my keyboard and is causing havoc.
I see. I just got a new keyboard a little while ago. There's the time I spelled monster on it earlier in this tournament, which wasn't great, but other than that, it's good. Do you have a backup keyboard? Please tell me you have a backup keyboard. You're a gamer, Bkop. It's fine. You can cast with an on-screen keyboard, right?
Well, there we go. Now I have, okay, I was just having trouble switching into Dota. And I can't... The left side of my keyboard is being interesting. There's like one drip of water. What the hell's going on here? I'm gonna turn my keyboard upside down, see if the water drips.
You got time. We're paused out.
There. It's, you know, it's never... You know, it's always something.
There's always something. You just gotta kind of roll with the punches, though. And we live in 2020. It's not about preventing problems. It's about fixing them or adapting them as soon as possible.
Condensation from under my glass.
You guys look tired. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Oh God, I wish I didn't look so tired. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
Wasn't able
I'm not
to
gonna
find
lie. I
sleep.
was up last night watching Chinese Dota.
My issue is I haven't had any monster today. If I could do a quick run during this pause, throw in the fridge, I could always have one with some ice, though. You know, I've been burning through monster these last couple of days to power myself through, and now I'm going through caffeine withdrawal, trying to get my levels back to normal.
Okay. My keyboard's just not working anymore.
I see.
It's
Sorry,
lit.
just-
All the lights are on. It might dry out. It'll be okay. We'll be fine.
Yeah, just use an on-screen keyboard for your observing. It'll be easy.
I'll just
Or,
have to click on the heroes and just use a mouse for observing. It'll be okay. I could switch to net worth. We're fine.
This guy's got some moves.
I just have to check if the OBS is right.
Breathe it in.
Yeah, it's fine.
Ford,
We're fine.
let's talk 4DR.
Okay.
You know, he wasn't in the last game. He's cutting down trees here. He's, look at this high IQ ward to get vision of the rune here. This is never going to get dewarded by the enemies. Unless, you know, you start to go through replays and it becomes a very popular ward. I missed that. How'd
they kill him?
he must have had to...
Was he tapped out?
He had to have been AFK. He had to have been AFK, and we missed that.
Yeah.
We were AFK as well. So this guy put no points to any of his abilities. If he was going to die there, in all likelihood, he would have leveled up his leap, in my opinion. It's not the worst thing in the world of Miranda. I do go on a bunch of rants about how if you have to commit to a bad level 1 ability to either get first blood or die, and you know that you're not going to get level 2 very quickly, it's better not to level that ability at all and just stick with your normal build and let yourself fall. There, though, Moonmeander is probably just playing... What's that popular game with the Zoomers these days? Among Us? He's probably playing Among Us during his Dota match. Arrow comes out. I'm pretty sure for a little while, in fact, the players on Virtus Pro, when Virtus Pro was popping off, were just playing Apex Legends in the drafting phase. And this is like happening at LAN too.
Wasn't that at Epicenter?
Yeah, it was at Epicenter. They were playing Apex Legends. I mean, the game was fun, but it wasn't good enough to like cost yourself tens of thousands of dollars and potentially place lower. That is the ultimate disrespect to enemy teams, though. All right, bottom lane, HFN, getting his last hit on. He's got, he's got a point in the bash the deep here on Slardar. Racks 2 up. Gonna go for this hit on the HFN next. Go trade with him. Gonna get that second auto attack in. All right, he doesn't. Now he's harassing him too much. King RD's not enjoying himself. Moon Meander with the young snipe over here. What a gamer. And KJ is forced to back up under 2 boar. Not bad. Mid lane. 4DR. Tries to get the toss back under the tower on Braille, but he misses it. Unlucky. And he tips him out. You hate to see it.
For sure. You never like to see it.
No.
But
HFN
4DR,
dog.
you know, there's a lot of pressure, I feel like. They lose the first game. Things are tight at the bottom of the table. You got to be careful.
That's right. Team Brazil, I don't think they'll slip up this game. All right. I'm angry at myself. I'm activating my Ultra Instinct camera movements now.
It's
Mid
very
lane,
difficult for me.
Get tossed up under the tower. His HP drops very low. He's got Death Pulse, though. Right, he manages to stay up. Very difficult without the keyboard right now. Yeah. Top lane. Moon Meander gets run at by Gustabile with the Phantom Rush, but he gets back. He's got the leap charge to fall back on. 4DR getting harassed down by Braille again. You know, he had a disadvantage here, melee hero up against Necrophobe. We talked about the other day when I was with Ricky, how this hero is just really good at beating heroes who like to sustain and go to the creep wave and trade for last hits. And that's tiny. You know, so Necrophobe, so it makes sense that he's really good against him. Top lane. Creeps get pulled back, but not too much action there. Mid, you can see 4DR about to go down.
Ooh, Avalanche toss, though, gets the kill on a Bryo instead. And then all of a sudden, HFN, he's getting chased at.
That is so clutch. Again, you were just about to go down there. I mean, that death pulse was just about to come out. You know, you ran the numbers in your head, you counted the seconds, you knew that that last death pulse couldn't quite come out and baited him into that. You know, what's that tooltip for Legion Commander say? Under Moment of Courage. The enemy's most vulnerable moment is often follows their fiercest stroke. That was 4DR versus Braille right there.
I was going to say, I feel like I've never heard that before.
You gotta read the flavor text, even if Valve doesn't put it on the new Heroes smile.
guess that is true. They don't put it on the new heroes. I'll have to look. I always forget about the little flavor text. It's very tiny.
Alright, pulling the creep waves out, but they're a little bit too late. You know, top lane Flea will be able to clear that out if he wants to with his fire spirits, though. At the bottom lane, they're not zoning, they weren't really zoning the lifesteal as much as they wanted to, but after he got a couple of levels under his belt, it became easier. But HFN is now in the top lane up against the PL. You know, HFN have to be taking this against the lifestealer. Just better at dealing with him. Every time he wants to use open wounds to try and trade with him, like we just saw, he's going to pop that doppelganger and walking him. Ooh. 40R, he's back. He's got the haste rune. He's looking for blood. He wants moon. I saw what you did to my team last game.
I wasn't here to stop it, but now I'm back.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You think you can just walk into this series and start like 38-4 against them when I'm not around?
HFN's sitting pretty low. I feel like that maybe if he was committed for the lifestealer.
It's hard. You go on him, but he pops that rage, just kind of walks back, and of course, you go too far into the tower. He heals up pretty quickly under feast and open wounds, so you got to be careful if you commit onto this guy. Bottom lane, King RD activates sprint. He just trying to grab these boars, but he pays for it pretty heavily. Takes a lot of damage.
Arcane Curse in the last word, doing a lot of damage. Moomiander getting low as well, so is HFN. You need to watch yourselves in these lanes.
In mid, Bryle runs at 40R, but gets him kind of low, but he picks up a regen rune, so all of that mana spent is for naught.
Regeneration.
Look at this happy, stupid rock. His regen rune. There you go. Throw out those harass, use the avalanche and the toss when you've got that regen rune still active, min-maxing. You know, you love to see it. 40R.
Arctic Burn, Moomiander. He's got a leap. Starstorm used, and we'll finally leap away.
Kezu getting run at. He could actually go down here, yeah, with 40R. Couple
Kezu
more
on the
hits.
Run, one more shot. 40R making the rotation helps to get that kill. Moomiander's still sitting low, but Bryle's over nearby, so nobody's chasing. Necro having a good time so far. Does my Y key work now? No, still not working.
Right.
I'll probably unplug and plug this back in between games. See if that works.
Turning it off and on again. What do you use the Y key for in the net worth? That's right.
Net worth.
Oof.
I've
That's,
swapped over. I've swapped over via clicking.
That's a rough one. All right. I'm sure your clicking
Yeah,
speed is good.
It's okay.
Mid lane here, we see a number of heroes on Team Brazil. I'm just sitting in front of the tower. They're not going to be able to do a whole lot here, and they have this observer ward, so the enemy team is going to be able to scout out those movements. Bottom lane, we're getting run at by King RD. But he does have to get back. These boars are a real nuisance. Kezu's using them well. You know, continuing to CS the creep wave, not leaving to give Aoi a hand, but he can slow down the Slardar. Aggression on the silencer with that one. Top lane, Costa Bile is inside the jungle, you know, getting the CS, which is good to do post 7 minutes. You know, you want those neutral items up on your heroes as quickly as possible. Get yourself that advantage.
He doesn't have a leap for another second. Finally comes back up, but the Icarus dive right on top of him. And Moomiander should end up dead with a tree coming his way and another right click from Flea. This game seems a lot more stable for the side of Brazil.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, you know, you try to test Bryle over here, but unfortunately you do see that he's got the Hooded Defiant, so you're not able to get that toss avalanche combo to bring him down. Especially when he pops that barrier. They're just going to walk with him.
40R. They're going to run at him. They've got the toss back. Holding Avalanche for now. Finally throws it. That comes out on a Moomiander who comes back and ends up dead. However, 40R, he's looking like he's going to fall. So the chase is on. They get the kill. The trade is there. That's much more beneficial right now, at least, for Crazy, but Flea, he TP's away, and all the while, we've got Costa Bile bottom, farming where he can.
Yeah, I mean, you drop in there pretty fast. You didn't have the point in grow yet on Tiny, so you had no armor. You just get blown up by these right clicks. Costa Bile farming away, as you said, though. Almost 1,000 net worth over this lifestealer, and, you know, he's going to continue to outfarm him. The illusion's a little bit quicker. Having Phantom Rush being an agility hero, he's going to farm it faster.
40R again. Getting harassed.
Yeah, it's not great. They're able to play pretty far behind this tower here, Braille and Kezu. Again, Kezu with the Braille with the sustain, Kezu with the push in the form of his Helmdom and their beast levels. Call it the Wild. Moon snatching that rune.
Flea, King RD, Primal Roar, that gets forced. They've got Owie right here, but he's sitting low enough where I feel like he really doesn't want to turn around. King RD would love to have a Blink Dagger right about now, but it is a bit early in the game for that.
Owie can't do much of anything. He did hit level 6, I think grabbed the tongue. We hit that 10-minute mark. He's got Global Silence, but no mana for it, so he definitely wants to get back in the base. In the dire triangle, we see some weird stuff happening.
HFN, Infest pops, and he is dead deep within his own triangle.
Tried to bait Marana away with that, with those illusions. Unfortunately, he didn't fall for it. I think you should have walked away with your hero. You might have gamed yourself there, Costa Bile. In the river is the last place you want to be against King RD here on the Slardar.
First hit bash, uses that rage, he'll stay close. Moomiander hits an arrow, now they're going to turn their attention on a Moomiander. Slithering Crush hits as he's leaping away, Icarus dive over, but there's the Global Silence. Avalanche comes out, 40R. Can he get the kill on a Moomiander? No, not yet, but finally throws the tree his way. Slithering Crush on the 2, now they're going for the Supernova, but they're in a bad spot. Reaper Scythe on a King RD, Supernova pops, do they have the damage? Avalanche toss, down goes HFN. KJ coming over, he doesn't have the mana for the Winter's Curse. Braille on the run towards Brazil for a second, but they back out successfully afterwards.
I mean, definitely worth it there for Team Brazil. You managed to bring down the lifesteal, brought out the hugest steal, but at the cost of Slardar. I'd say the biggest takeaway from that is it all started kind of with Phantom Lancer being caught out, though. So when you consider that factor into the team fight, you know, it doesn't end up being worth it. Anything you can do to slow down his game on Crazy is definitely worth it. I think if you can sort of keep, this team fight here. Global Silence isn't available, but Braille, the dodge!
Good dodge, Winter's Curse, now locks up Moomiander. They have 3 heroes to follow this up. The question is, can Moomiander get out? King RD's getting hit by an arrow, but it's a short-range arrow, so it's very quick. Goes back on a Moomiander. They've got the damage to take out this Marana. Costa Bile actually has to be very careful. So does King RD. He takes so much damage. Cold Embrace saves him for a moment. Slithering Crush. Now one more shot from HFN finishes him off. But Costa Bile, he's on the run from Braille and really can't do much of anything. KJ forced all the way back up the steps.
Does manage to dodge that last Death Pulse, and I believe that Flea actually gave him a salve there to heal him up just in case that Death Pulse did connect. So fight actually going a little bit in the favor of Team Brazil there, but they might get mid tower from this, and that makes it worth it for them. Second tower of the game, Crazy, getting more map control. Team Brazil have to be careful and, you know, take some towers of their own. It's a struggle though. You've got so much more push on the enemy team. You've got more team fight. You keep running these drafts where Costa Bile needs farm to get online. And it's great when it works out, but you know, when you're playing against a team with all these experienced players like Team Crazy, they're well coordinated, they control the map well, and you know, they don't really let you get that farm.
"13 minutes into the game, Team Brazil not down by 10,000 net worth."
Yeah, that it feels a little bit better for sure. Braille sitting down here with this smoke on him. I think trying to bait out Costa Bile here. Doesn't get him. And he's almost got his diffuser plate, thankfully. I mean, he went this Yasha build. It farms faster. You got the more movement speed, more attack speed. Your illusions benefit from it. But in that last team fight, for example, like you throw the Winter Wyvern, Winter's Curse off onto a hero. You get on top of him with PL. Even though you're not doing damage, you actually will continue to burn mana if you got that diffusal blade onto the enemies. So we can shut down a hero like Necrophos pretty well. He's got a couple solutions for it, like the Arcane.
Avalanche toss. Kill there on the Marana. Go on. Sorry. Ooh, hold on, Bryle.
Supernova. Die here, I think.
He's gonna get far enough out, but
these boars on 40R. They slow him down so much. All right, they toss him back.
Toss back.
You need to hold the avalanche. Can you TP out, Bryle? Bryle, you gotta. No, it's on cooldown.
He wants to go. They've got the Winter Wyvern nearby. Well, I mean, moving forward enough where he's.
King RD, you need to go help. The fight's breaking out, buddy. I know you want your Vladimir's offering, but it's go time. All right. Moonlight Shadow coming out. That felt like a symphony of something. Get the tower on HFN.
A symphony of something. Wait, did that just work?
That is what you sound like.
All right. Things slow down a little bit. King RD is now getting run out by the enemy team. If he dies up here, I'm going to be so upset with him.
Yes.
And let's see if they get the kill. Reaper's Sight. Yes, they do.
You weren't there to help your team out because you wanted that Vladimir's offering, and immediately after that, you don't push. You just you die. Bathroom. All right, that's fair. You know. Take a minute, you know, stretch, use the toilet. That's one of the things that I hate about Dota 2 is people usually in their pubs are not willing to take bathroom breaks, and you just don't have the time in like a high intensity match. It's like 60 minutes long, so you're playing something like an anti-mage, high stress the entire time, shoving out lanes, you know. You could use a couple seconds. Your mind's distracted, you just don't play the same Bkop.
I get it. I understand it.
Pinging things out. Tiny's missing. They're worried about him just making a beeline through to the enemy team to give some of these heroes a hand. But with Slardar down, I don't really think that you want to take a fight. You know, you wait for him to come back up. You continue to farm on Costa Bile on the other side of the map, inside that triangle where it's safe. The enemies aren't going to be able to take that much wall that Slardar has down at the moment because you know, the lanes are pretty shoved in. They've already taken all the tier 1 towers, and they're not really strong enough at this point to grab Roshan. Not without you know, the Necronom or the Necro book completed on the Beastmaster. He is actually opting to go for this Blink Dagger, like I was talking about, over the Necro book. Be that vehicle for the lifesteal. They know that the main problem on the enemy team is Costa Bile. That's how Team Brazil plays. So they have this Helm Dom. Yeah, excellent. This is a pretty normal item for Beastmaster. They have the Stomp on him as well. That extra lockdown to deal with the PL. But again, the biggest tool for them is being able to get on top of him very quickly. Have like maybe a global silence or something come out prior to the Manta style. Afterwards, like scout out the PL with an arrow. Use Kezu as a vehicle, hop on top of him, blow him up. Maybe Abyssal Blade on the Lifestealer afterwards. Would be surprised if you know, HFN's next item here is actually just a basher. Because blowing up this PL in these fights is going to be so important.
Avalanche. Toss on the wrong person.
I 100% agree with what Kezu's doing here. A Blink Dagger build.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Especially, like, we wanted him to get the Blink Dagger, considering they didn't really have anybody else to throw Lifestealer into the mix. HFN's taking a lot of time to the pit.
I was going to say I didn't feel like they had the ability to take Roshan. Like they don't have the Vladimir's offering. They're taking a lot of damage. If they can get this, that would be huge. But there's also like big punish for it. Oh my God, they get away with it.
Wow.
Okay. You know, you did take the slaughter right beside the pit. You had that pause come out, so you had some time to strategize, but that came out much, much quicker than I thought it would. And like you said, HFN took a lot of damage inside the pit, had to leave his armlet on, whack away at Roshan. That could have been so bad for them if they committed. I mean, you can get vision of inside the pit by throwing out the fire spirits. You have Winter Wyvern who could curse those people. That was a very high-risk play, but it paid off for them.
Yeah, I mean,
Well
getting
done.
the Aegis there definitely puts them in a good spot coming through this mid game.
You know, it was a dangerous play, but you can't argue with results. And those are the kind of plays I like seeing. It's called it by them. Are we running kind of far forward though? And you know, I talked to you about this one a number of times throughout the tournament, Bkop. I think it separates a good silencer from a bad one is always having that buyback goal in case you get gone on and blown up. And unfortunately, it's not something now he's got right now. So does that make him a bad silencer, TI winner?
I'm gonna hold my thoughts on that.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything too bad.
He's finishing up drums, so that item is very good for playing aggressive on the enemy team. But you know, if he's perfect with his positioning, great. He doesn't need buyback. But you do have to worry about Tiny jumping on you with his blink dagger and blowing you up. Bottom lane. Moon, you could be in trouble here. Moon, you are in trouble here.
Avalanche toss. Look at how quickly they kill him. The damage from 40R.
Over on King RD. Here comes the roar. Here comes the squad.
Yeah, 3 heroes. Reaper Scythe again. 57 seconds gone. This is, what, the 3rd time it feels like? Maybe even more that King RD's just been Reaper Scythed. Look at where he is in terms of net worth. It just seems like he spent so much time off the map.
Yeah, I mean, he's been like, taking the space of his team, usually playing pretty far away from the enemies, but I feel like there's no major reason for you to be dying like this. I'm a strong believer that somebody needs to play far forward. Somebody needs to deal with the enemy team when like they've got these aggressive heroes, tank these roars and these ganks. It is better your offlane to do it than your Phantom Lancer, but some of these things just kind of feel avoidable. From King RD here, almost as if he's distracted or something.
Avalanche toss, 40R continuing to clean up. He wants to go in that Echo Saber. 40R's got a decent chunk of farm, you know, keeping up with Bryle, who's got the Hood as well as the mech going into the Guardian Greaves. Bryle going mainly into sustain. You know, I like that from him. Winter's Curse used on Moomiander. They'll have the Avalanche toss to follow this up, or will they? Global Silence is used. Kezu comes over. I think look like they want to fight this, and 40R, look how quickly he's going down. Clone Embrace really isn't going to do much. You've already used the Winter's Curse. You'll lose the Tiny, and that does not go well for Team Brazil.
Now, well-timed ultimate by Howie there. Global Silence. I completely take back everything I said about him. I'm a big dum-dum, and now he's a smart. But that counter initiation, like it looked a little bit rough at first. Are you global just to save Moon Meander? No, absolutely not. And that's probably what Brazil was thinking. Like, okay, maybe we can continue to chase. That looked kind of silly, but they were there right away with that counter initiation. This is something you get to take advantage of when you have all of these tier 1 towers up, when you have all this map control that Crazy have. I mean, yes, the net worth's kind of even, but we see this so often. They're playing just on the enemy side of the map. They get to do what they want here. Definitely on the back foot on Team Brazil, even though net worth looks pretty even. Goes to be like forced to run away from Bryle here. They don't have the heroes to catch him. Beastmaster still pretty far. He's got his Blink Dagger finished, though. We'll see if him and the HFN try to set something up. Just burst down this tower, throw the medallion on top of him. They say, okay, you could drop to kind of low HP. You've got this Aegis. It expires in, what, less than 30 seconds now. Mode go.
Do we need King RD to have his Blink Dagger?
King RD does need that. He went to Vladimir's offering first. I think thinking that he was going to be moving with the team a bit more than he currently is, which is odd because he spent all the time farming away from his team. The Blink Dagger's gonna have limited use. Oh, top lane. Tiny, he's just dead.
Yep, 40R. And that's Primal Roar used. The control is there on the back lines of this fight, though. Arrow coming in. KJ avoids it.
But currently, Crazy, you're on a timer. You're wanting to end this game, or at least take a couple pairs of Raxes right now before Phantom Lancer gets his heart. Currently, you have the ability to blow him up. You have that Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster. You can Infest Bomb him. You have some solutions to the PL in the form of this Mjolnir, popping it on yourself and Chain Lightning. Can deal with him. But dealing with this PL's talents as he goes on, trying to grab him under the Doppelganger and have him come in and out of the fights with his Heart of Tarask, will make your game much more difficult than it needs to be. So he's actually playing pretty far forward right now. He takes a lot of damage from Costa B level. He's got this amp on him.
Winter's Curse is in a really good spot. Killing off Bryle. Well done. Global Silence just a little bit late. King RD gets the stun. They've got the Supernova. It's a little bit far back. However, they want to focus on HFN. 40R coming over. Avalanche toss. Down goes HFN. 40R doing a very good job of coming in and getting that kill. Staying away from the fight so he survives. Really well done by KJ to get that control. You're welcome.
Yep. The Global Silence came out just a fraction of a second too late from Aoi. Again, he had the amp damage on the Necrophos. He couldn't manage to get his Guardian Greaves off first either. Nice play there by him.
Get the kill.
Just like that, things turn on their head pretty quickly. Even though you have all the tools right there on Crazy to be able to take the fight to the enemies, you know, you're just a little bit off with some of your timings and execution in these team fights.
Ooh, I think my keyboard works again. I tried.
Impressive.
I'm so happy. I don't have to just use my mouse.
Nice. I'm glad you don't need to buy a new keyboard. You know, that'll keep your net worth high, just like Team Brazil.
You gotta always watch out for condensation.
Yeah. Condensation, the slow killer, I think is what they say.
Tonight at 9, condensation, the slow killer. Then after that, a double feature.
Radiant's bottom tower.
KJ, he's got his 4-staff complete. King RD's got his Blink Dagger. You know, you're working away towards that Heart of Tarask on the Phantom Lancer. He's got the big part of it complete. He's picked up the Reaver. It's another, what, 650, 650, 2,300 gold? There you go. Quick maths.
Smoke. Can they do anything with this?
Actually, I did the math wrong.
Come on.
2,400. Yeah, they smoke up. Dire scanning out. Everyone is on the edges of this. Oh my god. They don't think that they're there.
Ooh, this is gonna... Oh, just miss HFN. The Global Silence comes in afterwards. I think this is okay. It's an early Global Silence with just King RD committing. Goes to Belia, Doppelganger back. Flea, he's right nearby to go in with an Icarus Dive as well as a Supernova. Hell, he could put his Supernova right by the pit. Icarus Dive, there's a good Supernova. It's actually right by Moomiander. Maybe it's not so good. The Winter's Curse still gets the right click from Aoi. They kill him off. And now, they'll buy back on this Beastmaster. They'll chase onto the Silencer. They've got the Infest on a Kezu. By the way, Kezu still has the Primal Roar if he wants to get some lockdown here. Blink forward, but not enough to catch King RD. That's 3 heroes dead with the buyback being used by the Beastmaster. They lose the Phoenix. It looked like a good Supernova spot, just they didn't have a way to stop the right clicks from coming in.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I do think that was a good Supernova. They had to commit onto that egg so hard that everyone was split up.
Blink. Looking for the Primal Roar. Avalanche. Infest popped. 40R. Reaper Scythe gets him through the cold embrace.
So they bring down Tiny here, and they don't have to commit the Primal Roar for it either. Infest is going to be on cooldown, so they're not going to have that bomb for the Phantom Lancer. And Roshan's still not up for another minute here. So it was one of the longer respawn times. Fortunate for Team Brazil. Otherwise, the enemy team would be getting it. You know? That was such a good find there. And they need to get something into that bad team fight that they just took. Bryle playing very far forward.
That Slithering Crush coming in, and now Bryle in some trouble. Primal Roar finally comes through into King RD, but they've got the right-click damage from Costa Belia to get the kill onto this Necro. Now Icarus dive forward, but no Supernova. However, it won't matter. Aoi gets low, ends up dead.
Without his frontliners there to keep him alive, he's going to go down pretty fast. Top lane. Sorry, over here in the triangle.
That hits. Starstorm, do they have the damage? Flea goes down, but there's the Winter's Curse. Now they'll focus their attention onto the Lifestealer. They go after Moomiander. He's a couple shots from dead, but they'll take out HFN first. Costa Bile is going wild right now.
Costa Bile. He's, you know, he's got his heart. He's got everything he needs to play you over aggressive now. Before they had to worry about blowing him up. Now he can get that disengage, head back into the fight. The Slardar, of course, so the Vladimir's offering helps him stay in it as well. I was thinking he's going to backdoor with his tower here, but he's going to opt to get back. 27 minutes in. Roshan is up, and tier 3 items are available as well. You have to be careful, though. The Hawk is outside the pit. That means you're going to have full vision of you on this, but without Lifestealer, and I'm not sure he wants to commit the buyback onto this, they're just going to take Roche. Aegis and Cheese is going to go their way. Alright. Nothing they can do here on Team Crazy. So the game starts to turn on its head, and again, I feel like this all just comes down to that one play in the Dire Triangle where the Global Silence came out a fraction of a second too late. The amp damage was on you. You didn't get the D-spell of it. Your teammates tore you apart.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That is what you sound like.
Now, Team Brazil pretty pleased with themselves after
yeah.
these last couple of fights. But this is a lot come down to Kezu not being able to get on top of people with his Blink Dagger. They're taking pretty scrappy fights here with Team Brazil. They need someone to scout forward for them and get vision on this Phantom Lancer, the fight prior, get on top of him with the Lifestealer.
Dire's bottom tower
It feels rough right now. You have the Plate Mail and Lifestealer. You're going to have a serious lack of damage. And I'm not sure you're going to be able to bring down this Phantom Lancer who now has the heart twice. As he goes for Basher. Help him easily take fights against HFN.
Dire's middle tower is under
They're
attack.
focusing bottom, focusing their attention. Avalanche comes in to clean up these creeps.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Arrow to the back, not gonna land. King RD moving forward. Costa Bile, he's here. They're right on top of Braille. They've got the Arcane Curse that comes through on a Costa Bile, but now HFN trying to fight this with the Blink as well as the Slither Crush. That's how HFN uses the Rage, gets the Reaper Scythe out on a King RD, kills him off. So they've killed off the Sword. They look for the rest. They get the Winter Wyvern. Down goes KJ. Costa Bile just can't do enough. Arrow doesn't hit. Spirit Vessel on to 4DR. He's on the run. Moomiander coming over. And 4DR, he'll survive by eating the cheese. They've got the Supernova. Do they have the right clicks? Yes, they do. They've taken out Flea 3 heroes down on the side of Team Brazil. Brazil in a lot of trouble. Costa Bile now up on the high ground. They get nothing out of this. And they will lose the tier 2 bottom.
Bottom tower is no
Lack of coordination is, I think, the biggest thing there for Team Brazil. And just couldn't commit onto anyone too hard with that Phantom Lancer. You couldn't have the lockdown on the enemy here. With Supernova coming in a bit late after the Slardar and the Slardar was dead. Tiny had used his abilities, and Winter Wyvern didn't get the curse off. So, you got the good initiation with the Vision there that time on Crazy, and it really cost Team Brazil. Showing off they're still pretty strong here. Again, they couldn't bring down that Phantom Lancer. He's too bulky at this point. He's got the heart, he's got the Aegis. Of course, you couldn't commit that Reaper Scythe onto him. Made more sense to commit it onto the Slardar there. Sorry, yeah, there was Slardar. But decent windfall for you on Team Crazy. The question is if Team Brazil will allow you to get that kind of initiation again. Both teams need to be very good on their vision game.
Vision game so far. Dire has some wards inside the river. A couple of sentries down here and there. Spread out throughout the Radiant side. And Radiant, they're going to smoke, but that was right under a ward. I believe it spotted that. They've got the toss out on the Bryos ahead of the rest of the team. They go for the Primal Roar. That hits on a 40 pops the BKB. So now, not amazing from Crazy. They've got the Winter's Curse that locks up HFN. On the backline's out. Bryle, he'll use that Guardian Greaves and now keep himself sustained for a little bit. KJ in some trouble. He's already used the Winter's Curse, so if he goes down right here, it's not the worst thing in the world. The Global Silence comes in afterwards. Team Brazil with Costa Bile up on the back. Reaper Scythe comes in, kills off Flea. Flea of the Supernova, doesn't get it off. 4DR ends up dead. Moomiander low, so is Bryle. Lotus Orb on him. Costa Bile trying to get it back, but he's in so much trouble. They get the kill into the Phantom Lancer. They have no buybacks for Team Brazil. That means there's no Supernova in this fight, no 4DR, and now Costa Bile, he'll doppelganger onto the high ground. But the rest of the side of Crazy, they're going to continue to move forward. They've got King RD who goes over with Blink, Slither Crush out on Moomiander who uses the Euls to survive. Spirit Vessel placed on to this Slardar. Costa Bile trying to TP out. Axes come in. Arrows there. It connects. Moomiander on it. Down goes Costa Bile. HFN will get the kill. And all of a sudden, Crazy are ahead 4K.
Tag it and bag it. I mean, with that down, they don't have the Fortify available. Costa Bile doesn't have buyback. He's down for 64 seconds here. What's going to stop them from pushing? I think just themselves. But while here, cutting the creep wave. Moonmeander here in the mid lane, shoving that out. These fights, it's just Braille playing them again and again. So many times has Costa Bile committed onto this Necrophos. Only whack him a couple of times and him put him out of position by popping this Ghost Shroud. In that team fight, yeah, you had a great Winter Scourge. You stopped this Knights from the Rage. Costa Bile tried to go on him and just wasn't able to bring him down due to like this Mjolnir on him and not doing enough damage. I feel like King RD and Costa Bile this game, they're just not pairing up with each other. They need to commit the Corrosive Haze onto somebody and have the Phantom Lancer run at them.
The implications of this win here for Crazy mean a lot for them. Team Brazil, they should be secure in at least getting the lower bracket. That is a very, very interesting Supernova, but the Winter's Curse on that is okay. Can the egg go off? Yes, it can. So it's perfectly placed, but they need Costa Bile to follow it up. He just gets alive, and now he's going to TP into the racks. The Global Silence gets used, and now they go into the base. They'll look even further. They've got the toss on a Moomiander, but not enough damage. 40 R's BKB is about to run out. Costa Bile, Reaper Scythe coming in. Not going to do enough damage. They've got him inside the Cold Embrace. Now they've got the Silence. He'll pop the mana, but he's dead. He just dies like that. And he is gone for 80, and it looks like the chances of this game slip away with his life. They'll go for the tier 4s. They'll dive in even further. They've got the Talus and a Moomiander inside the base. Clumsy Net comes through. Lotus Orb is there, and he is invested just to keep alive this Mirana. They get the kill on a KJ. 40R and Flea are locked inside the base, and the tier 4s will be the target.
Nothing they can do at this point, I feel like. I mean, they popped that Fortify. It's now available, but they go right back onto it, start whacking away at these towers with 26 seconds on the next closest hero to coming back up. They just call GG. Crazy, my God. When they get it right, they get it right in these team fights. Just completely juking out this Phantom Lancer, kiting him around. He's not able to go on anyone. It feels like the coordination of the heroes on Team Brazil is just off. They needed a Dispel for that Ghost Shroud, or they needed to be able to jump on this Lifestealer with the amplified damage and the PL. They just didn't have it. The initiations and the team play here on Crazy too good, and several times even Aoi on the back line, they didn't have that Glimmer Cape, or sorry, the detection for the Glimmer Cape when they went on to him. So Crazy, amazing gameplay out of him in game number 2. Started to look like the game switched back into Team Brazil's favor, but coordination in this team fight just too strong.
Yeah, honestly, you saw like Moomiander, he was able to survive. Like King RD would focus his aggression onto this Mirana and not even get the kill there. Then he gets taken out. The Reaper Scythe would come through, and honestly, things for Crazy looked really good with the way they played these fights. It wasn't exactly amazing through the mid game, but as they went on, the coordination looked there, and they do a very good job of winning this game and taking the 2-0. So they take the 2-0. It sets us up for our next 2 series, which is a doubleheader for Quincy Crew up against Infinity Esports and then Beast Coast. So we'll be back with that in just a moment. Stay right there. We'll be right back.